any case, we are gonna. For those of you just joining us on YouTube, we are going to discuss the Disney Studios presentation, which was Disney, Pixar, and Disney Animation, so Disney Live Action. And I'm going to use our Twitter account as sort of our guide because there was a lot. And but we're going to start with we'll start with this, which is the logo. There's a whole sort of normal, like I don't know what you call it, like a big kind of. There's probably some really fancy term for that thing that's before the movie that tells you what the studio is.
I think they just call it a logo.
like how come Chiron's just not a label, but is like this is not a thing. So because here it is. It's cooler in video. You can see here. You see the Matterhorn on the left, Pride Rock on the right, and it's just those kinds of Easter eggs. Easter eggs is kind of the end of the day. In any case, it is that's the new Disney 100 logo. Any thoughts on that?
I don't have an eye for details, so I feel like I just thought it was the same logo, but with the text that says Disney 100. Until you pointed out the Matterhorn and Pride Rock in the back, I probably would not have noticed them.
So yeah, and it's got training. It's got all sorts of things. I mean, I can't. Yeah. It's sort of one of those things that you're gonna have to pause your Disney Plus. It looks like Hocus Pocus will be the first film to use it. Hocus Pocus 2, excuse me. When it comes to Disney Plus. So on Disney Plus, it's not like when the old one came and you had to go to a movie to see it, and you're like, what? Right. But it's so anyway. Alan Bergman, the head of the studio, came and kind of introduced on. Actually, Revo kicked things off when he was Superstar Star. She posted Blue Fairy in the Pinocchio adaptation. I hate to hesitate for live action, but I guess
I've seen it. Is it by and large an animated film?
I mean, Geppetto's real. Cynthia Erivo's face is real. But anyway, case on Hocus Pocus 2, the three sisters were not present, but we get to see a new trailer, which you can.
We get a video message from them.
Yeah, we did get a video message. They just for some sleight of hand, I guess. Some really sleight of hand.
Yeah, it was like a rat tail up here in his hand,
right?
And the lights all flickered, and they did show us a new trailer.
But probably a little bit of a disappointment, I think, considering how much the fans played a part in getting that second one done. But in any case, saw the new trailer. We're going to get sort of an origin story of the sisters. But you can watch that all online. So, moving on to the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, this was a big surprise for me because I am a big fan of the attraction, obviously. Who isn't? But I was not super excited when they announced their Haunted Mansion movie. When Guillermo del Toro was making it, I was excited for it. But this guy, Justin Simien, I haven't seen Dear White People, so I don't really know what he's capable of. But they talked about his history as a Disneyland cast member. He talked about how passionate he was growing up about the ride. That got me intrigued. And then showed the trailer, and I was like, oh, this looks like it might actually be pretty good. I don't know. What did you think?
So this is exactly what my Disneyland I looked like when I was there. It's old school. They don't look like this anymore. Yellow hourly doesn't mean that anymore. It doesn't exist. And it was Disneyland. It wasn't like the Walking Company IDs of today. So I was like, wow, and it made me sort of nostalgic because I don't have that ID anymore because I don't work there. But yeah, and I thought it was really cool. Like, there was a lot of I don't want to say Easter eggs, but like you can tell it's someone who appreciates the Haunted Mansion. I know we all have the experience with the Eddie Murphy movie, which had plenty of Easter eggs, but still wasn't a good movie.
Right.
I think we were all we're excited for the Guillermo del Toro, his passion for Haunted Mansion. So when, as I say, Justin Simien is not known for his Disney heritage.
Right.
And so I had no idea he worked at Disneyland.
Yeah.
But I wonder if he was there. I wonder if we were. Yeah. He didn't work in my department. I would have remembered him. But I wonder where.
Could be.
So in any case, but knowing someone who's actually has experience helped put faith. And the trailer is fun. It's scary. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's all the things you kind of want.
I thought the production design looked really good too, which is always, if they're going to make a haunted mansion, I want it to look cool and have sets look really cool, and I think they accomplished that at the very least. The odd thing that I thought is that Owen Wilson is this movie, and I just can't help but think of that movie, The Haunting, that he was also in The Haunted House. So that brought me back to that. But it does look funny. It does look like it's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Owen Wilson's like on pace to be a Disney legend.
Sure. Yeah, he's Lightning McQueen.
Yeah, and Morbius.
Oh, right, Red Moby. I thought talking about the living vampire.
yeah, that's what. No, it's not Jared Leto, which is ironic. Anyway, moving on to here's a Hocus Pocus poster. If you don't see it, looks kind of what you'd expect. We did get news of the prequel of Mufasa: The Lion King, directed by the name that's
Barry Jenkins.
Barry Jenkins, thank you, and written by the son of a friend of my father's, and is sort of like a Lion King one kind of situation. Yeah. They're telling the story of Mufasa, who is apparently an orphan. That was kind of the breaking news to me. I always just presumed he was part of a long line of Lion Kings.
Lions King, I think,
yeah.
is the
pardon my. It's told. Timon, Pumbaa, and Rafiki are telling the story to a young lion cub, who I don't know if it's Kovu Kiara or Kion or whatever, but and obviously the question is, well, if Mufasa's an orphan, where does R come in?
Mm-hmm.
So
adopted brother like Loki.
Yeah. So I mean, this is not doing great stuff for the adopted birth community. It's doing what stepsisters have been dealing with for decades. But yeah, it's I'm excited because the live action adaptation. It was beautiful. It was a very faithful adaptation. It kind of felt like yeah. So Gio, it's not like a Lion King 1.5 like in that way. It sort of it serves two time periods. So, but so no song from Ray Simone, I don't believe. We got Snow White, which is so I mentioned Bassa and Snow White are all theatrical, and so the cast of Snow White. We didn't get much of the film. We just sort of got a.
There was a brief teaser. Right. They showed. Gal Gadot revealed that you didn't know this already, right? That she was the evil queen. I
did, but I don't know if I knew that. Like,
okay,
it's sometimes to know what's out and what's I know. But they are having new songs from Pasek and Paul from Disney's Greatest Showman. Take ownership of it. And they said in addition to the classic songs, but I fully expect Hi Ho.
Yeah.
While You Work, they kind of reference in this little clip we saw, presumably. Mm-hmm. One song, that's the one song people forget. It's what started the film.
Right.
And Hi Ho, this is dumb, the thing. I don't know what to be in it, but they came out. We also got to look at Peter Pan and Wendy.
Oh, right.
With Jude Law as Captain Hook.
Yes.
And they seem to be really making sure that it's not just Peter Pan, it's Peter Pan and Wendy, and it's Wendy, not like Gilligan and the rest. It's like they're equals in this film. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. We got Disenchanted. This was actually kind of cute. Obviously, it's coming November 24th to Disney Plus.
We could talk about how they came in. Like they introduced the whole cast, and like Amy Adams and what's her name, Maya Rudolph were missing, and then they came in as though they had just come from Disneyland.
Yeah.
And they like carrying shopping bags and wearing the ears, and had a bunch of those bubble blowers.
Right.
And then Amy Adams gave the Frozen to Idina Menzel.
Yeah, that was very cute. Actually, I've noticed that there's this thing where it's like, okay, we're going to announce the cast. We're going to do something. No. there's always something more.
Yeah.
Like there's like a beat to it.
Right.
It's like it's not just enough to be like, hey, this is what we did. Talk about the movie. Okay.
Yeah.
No, they got to be like, talk about the movie. Do you have anything more to share? No, that's it. Are you sure?
Right.
Okay, fine. That's just sort of the thing they do with these things.
It'd be dry without that though.
Yeah, no, it helps because like they just said, here's the trailer. It'd be like, okay, they showed me the trailer. But if I feel I wasn't supposed to get it,
we just decided at the second
right.
to show you a trailer. We didn't have it prepared, but we put it together for you.
What inside LP tip? In order to get like tweets ready, I always look at what the prompter says, so I know what's gonna come up next. And it's funny because it's like all the things like, but wait, there's more. Or shouldn't we share support? That's a lot in the prompter. But anyway, it looks cute. It's coming right, Disney Plus. The new trailer out. You can watch it. Excuse me. It's there's 2 new Disney legends in this movie. Perhaps like was, and the patron saint of Disney Plus, is Nicole Brown.
Surely to be a Disney legend.
Right. I mean, even just association alone.
Yeah.
Then we had Rob Herschel introduce the live action The Little Mermaid. Hi, two from Tupac. And we just gotta give a shout out to Gia.
Yeah, Gia, thanks for being our most active viewer.
I just want to. My goal for this expo is to meet you.
I met him today for the first time.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Say hi.
Probably wouldn't recognize me because I'm not on the cool screen.
He knew your name when we logged in. So I am not a fan of Rob Marshall as a filmmaker.
As a person, no.
I've not interacted with him personally. I was not excited for him when they announced this film. They showed us the entire sequence of Part of Your World, one of the most beloved sequences of any, right? Would you say that sequence?
I mean, it's historic. I mean, it's the scene that they were going to cut, they put it in, it saved Disney. I mean, it's
boy, I think of Little Mermaid, I think that sequence, Part of Your World, and they just sucked all the life out of it, in my opinion. I just thought it just felt completely flat. But she's a good singer, Halle Bailey. You got that part of it. So definitely they delivered on that aspect. But as a director, I think Rob Marshall fell short.
Yeah, I think they did a wonderful job singing it.
Yeah.
And I actually felt that the flowing of the water was beautiful. The special effects, I guess, what it missed is the sort of enhanced moment. It was just truly like, how you have Sebastian in it. It missed that kind of kept the pace, the interaction with the this stuff that made that scene kinetic. And we used to see the glorious Jodie Benson singing that song and singing it in her way. And so you want Halle Berry to put her spin on it. Halle Bailey. Yeah. I do not want Halle Berry to put her spin on it. Right. Halle Bailey from Grownish fame take on it. But I felt like the parts that were wistful a little bit is where she kind of was more powerful. Mm-hmm. And I felt like if this is a yearning song, it didn't feel yearning. It felt like I'm claiming my place, which is great. And it's no criticism on Halle because it's not, it's her performance was stunning as a singer, but I just felt as a storytelling song, the director needed to be more involved in what does each line mean, what's her heart say, and so I agree with you. It wasn't perhaps the best.
Just lacking in energy is what I'd say about it. Just did not inspire confidence in that movie for me.
It was great. Gio says it was great. No Gordon Franklin, not that to my knowledge. Terrible names, and I do know Woody the Cowboy. Hi, Woody.
Hello. There's a snake in your boots.
You are also in the live action adaptation of Pinocchio for some reason. And so we've known a lot about this movie. Alan Menken's working with Lin-Manuel Miranda on new songs, and so we don't need to retread that too much. But so that was pretty much Disney live action. I think Little Mermaid was probably not the greatest choice. like what was disappointing to me, there were reveals. There was no like,
Yeah.
these are the same movies we've essentially heard since that T plus press event.
Right.
And so I felt like there needed to be something like a, like a big wow, like the Tron reveal at college years ago, and I just felt like that was a little missing. Next is Pixar with I'm doing live stream about D23 Expo.
Yeah, we were doing a lot today. We just came from D23 Expo day one. It was a busy day, and we're recapping the Disney Studios panel.
Next was with All Around Good Guy.
Pete Docter.
Often on my flight from San Francisco to Oakland to Burbank. Pete Docter. And
I interviewed him one, and after the interview, he called me Mark. I was like, I tried to remember my name.
I would if Doctor called me Mark, I would change Mark. So first we talked about Elemental. Shown, who you might recognize his voice as Lee. And the producer's name is not going to come to me, and I apologize. Just no disrespect to her, just she has another movie, so didn't Linguini and something
right.
But Elemental, where it's basically, I would say it's a love story because I don't know if that's a fact, but
it looks like a love story.
Yeah, it looks like it's getting there.
It's kind of like a Romeo and Juliet kind of thing, where two people from very different backgrounds are falling in love.
So this is it's a fire elemental citizen and water, and so they actually had fire and water on the set. You can hear half the stage was on fire, half the stage was raining, which is pretty cool. Kudos to this team, special events team. As I say, star-crossed lover. And what I thought was about these characters, you're not going to pick it up on the image, is this isn't like a person who's on fire. Like she is fire.
She's made of fire, yeah.
This is not a person who is like the Blob. He is like water-y without being sort of a sack. And I thought it was cool. So, I mean, obviously, poor Peter Schoen got the Good Dinosaur, and obviously that was almost a trouble production. It might be the most accurate way to describe it. And we were so concerned that he would never get another shot, just because that was obviously a very challenging production. So I'm glad he can tell a story that he created, his experience of being a son of an immigrant and living in a melting pot. And so I'm excited for Ember and Wade. Ember is the fire, obviously. I should say obviously, but Ember, fire, Wade as in water. Wade to water.
There's also a character, an animal named Ember in the High Republic, and it's a dog that can breathe fire. So
he's actually my favorite hire. It's probably no shock tank. So this is the poster. Then we went to from Disney Plus, Win or Lose. So for those of you that don't know, Win or Lose is about a co-ed softball team, and each episode up to the finale is seeing the week ahead of the championship game through various characters, whether it's the coach, the umpire, the players, parents, etc. And so we'll see it all from their different perspective, from how these two Pixar storytellers would go to a meeting and have two very different takes on what happened at the meeting. So we've known about this film for a while. We got revealed that
it's not a film though. It's a TV series.
You are correct. Series, First Pixar series coming to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
We knew about it for a while. We got the reveal that Will Forte is playing the coach.
Yeah, I forgot to tweet. I didn't have time to tweet that, but Will Forte did a very funny video message introducing a clip that he was not featured in, so he had some fun playing for that.
Then aliens descended upon the D23 Expo and asked to bring you to their leave. So this is the 2020, late 2023?
I don't know.
There's a lot. Pixar film, Elio, which is about a boy who's the son of someone who's like trying to find extraterrestrial life. He ends up making first contact and becomes the ambassador of Earth to the basically United Nations, the United Federation of Planets, the Galactic Senate, depending on French you're following, and sort of fish out of water. Introduce the cast. So his mom is right here, voiced by America Ferrera from
Ugly Betty. Is that her? Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Ugly Betty.
And a new kid who name I'm not gonna.
No, I don't remember his name, but he had a lot of energy on stage.
Dude, I mean, said that Anthony Gonzalez from Coco. When I first met him, I was like, "Wow, you are very like high energy for a kid and like very personable and stuff and like love being here. And this kid, I met this kid, like it's almost a little concerning how exciting he is. He's happy to be part of Pixar, and it looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that for sure.
We covered a lot. Spring 2024 is when it's coming out.
Yeah.
And then sort of in the vein of, but wait, there's more. We got Pete Docter is about to wrap it up, and Amy Poehler. I only knew it was Amy Poehler from before because I was looking at the teleprompter and it said it.
See, I instantly recognized her as an Upright Citizens Brewing fan.
We got news that Inside Out is coming, and then new director Kelsey Mann, who has been a long time Pixar storyteller. I know he was head of story on Onward and done the other things, but only reason, that's that comes to mind because that's where I met him. And Meg LaFleur from the Marvel writing program, but also Inside Out 1 as the writer and a new producer who I'm not going to know. So New Emotions, Riley's a teacher. Hilarious. Pete Docter is stepping aside as the director, as chief creative officer. So one must imagine that he is. Oh my gosh!
Oh, breaking news!
I'm so sorry. I did not realize you are not the real Woody from Toy Story.
There's not a snake in your boots. I take it back.
Well, that's not. There could be snakes in your boots.
Potentially, there is a snake in your boots.
So be careful. There could be snakes in all of our boots. So that's a public service announcement for today. Be careful of snakes in your boots, whether you are Woody or not.
Watch out for snakes.
So, here's the producer, Mark Nielsen.
There we go.
And then, it came back to Disney Animation as we were
and that's not their official Twitter account. Don't follow.
The 100 years of Disney. Obviously, animation at the start of Disney, the Steamboat Willie. So, as long as there's been the company, there's been Disney Animation. And so they really get into it and made a fitting end to the day. Led off with Utopia Plus, which we'll actually more cover later when they're doing a whole shindig on that. But went to also announced that one of the Disney Plus investors, a partnership with the African creative house, Kugami. They came. The story was they got to go to Disneyland the first time.
Yeah.
Basically it takes place in sort of a technological metropolis where one side of the place has all the advancements and another side does not. But obviously there's danger, and we'll explore it. So I don't know a lot of detail yet, but it's coming to Disney.
It looks like the Jetsons kind of thing. A little bit of a
concept. So it's the honeymooners version of the Flintstones, but if you made the Flintstones in the future and you're in Africa, you end up. So it all comes back to Jackie Gleason is what we're really trying to say here. Anyway, here's some more images. These are the characters. This is the setting. So you can see an island that looks very futuristic, and the mainland, which still being in a sci-fi world, is a little bit more mundane. And then these are the characters. There's Tolkole, and then this is a sort of a robotic lizard that can blow you up. So then we went back to theatrical, A Strange World. Now this movie's coming out any day now in November. Yeah. So we got the new trailer. They talked about how this movie is really based on their family. And Gyllenhaal was there, looking a little stoned. Dennis Quaid. Obviously, it's always fun when they can bring Disney people who have a strong Disney resume back to this event. Mm-hmm. So nothing to say about it, I don't think, except it's coming out. You've seen the trailer,
right? And they gave us posters.
Oh yeah, I'll talk about Jamie Lee Curtis when we talk about Haunted Mansion.
Oh right, because it didn't come up in the tweets.
Yeah.
The effect of the Doom Buggy coming on stage was really good. Yeah. Like it looked like it was moving, like it was on the Omnimover track coming around the stage. and then it's spun around and Jamie Lee Curtis.
I was like, yeah, because it's fun, like a real arm mover.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we have to make a scary movie without. I was like, I was thinking about all the scary people, and I was like, oh, I don't know, and I thought a lot of inappropriate things about like people are not, and it perfectly from Freaky Friday and
Halloween. They said Queen of Scary because I do Jamie Lee.
But and it's funny, first thing, every time I think of Jamie Lee Curtis, I think of Freaky Friday because of the scene where she goes, "I'm like the Crypt Keeper," and so it felt very appropriate today. But this is the 2023 release.
Yeah, the 100th anniversary.
And I want to talk a little bit about this. They wanted to make a movie, a new original movie, so not like a Rabbit type thing or Chip and Dale Rangers if you're young, that paid tribute to the Disney heritage. And it's an original story. Basically, the story of the origin of the wishing star. That that we've seen Tiana, Geppetto, Aladdin.
Right. We should say that they introduced this concept by showing a montage of basically anyone ever done a star in a Disney movie.
So 47 minutes.
Yeah.
It's only to the time that a parent died. Montage, which I kind of want to make.
Parent montage.
And I mean, you have Chris Buck.
Wait, no, I kind of want the follow-up to this, a movie about the guy responsible for every parent having been killed in a Disney movie.
We don't know who the villain is of this yet, so you don't know where this is going to
That could be it. That could be it.
So this is it has Chris Buck directing it from Frozen, who was trained by the Nine Old Men, to one of the newest animators. I was co-directing it as well, and you couldn't make a Disney animated movie these days without including Alan Tudyk,
right?
Who went of his characters.
Yeah, he did all the voices on stage of all those characters. It was great.
And he will be playing a sheep, and Ariana DeBose is playing our hero, Asha.
Mm-hmm.
And Star is a phantom character, so which is great for animation. We don't have a clip of this, but the backgrounds are out of Pinocchio. I mean, they have that beautiful sort of old school art, but you have the modern sort of CG characters, and it's just beautiful in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And
They said it was like a mix of 2D and 3D.
Right. And it's supposedly filled with Easter eggs, I mean, it's a tribute to the Disney animation legacy. And, as a full disclosure, I'm a mutt. I have, I've never felt, I don't have a strong culture. And you see as Disney and others are bringing in cultures from the outside, you see a lot of great storytelling being inspired by great cultures, whether that's Encanto and the beautiful Colombian culture, or even Black Panther with the the sort of Afrofuture ideals, and we could go on and on, we'll go with the Dead and all those things.
Yeah.
But and you see the power that it meant for the people that were part of those communities to be seen. But to me, because I have a strong cultural identity, just because my parents didn't have a strong cultural identity, because they were, it became the soup. As the soup became molded together, everything became who I am. I never thought about it. But to me, my culture has always been Disney culture. Like, I feel when I find my community, man, it's Disney fans, it's you guys. And so now, obviously, Disney pays tribute to its heritage all the time. But I felt like this is the first time where Disney made a movie, not just with like characters or, to the past or whatever, but a movie that is rooted in the Disney legacy and the Disney culture. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I feel seen, and I was like, like I feel like this must be what it feels like to be a member of that community that when it appears on screen for the first time. Because I could never. I wanted Disney back when we were working on that 50th. Like there was always talk. Make something special because like it's the 50th, and I mean they made Tangled.
Okay.
I mean, it's a movie, but not really. Well, I would say legacy. I mean, it's
Right.
It's just another installment, or even 60th. Great movie, just another chapter in the legacy. And I was like, I want the movie that pays tribute to Disney legacy, but I couldn't figure out how to do it because you don't want it to just be a cameo fest of like then it becomes a Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph. Yeah. And I mean, it's fun, but it's not true. It's not authentic in that way. And so I'm really excited about that. I hope it's good. And I'm going through all the things I think when people find like their culture is going to be represented Disney, they're going through my head. I'm like, please just make it good. It's a musical as it needs to be if it's going to pay tribute to Disney. And has Alan Tudyk as if it pays tribute to Disney. Like it's
recent,
right? So I'm super excited about this one. And Oscar winner Ariana came out and did and sang. And I didn't read it because it was too long. I didn't want to cut it for 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, we have the full version on YouTube now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been uploaded.
Okay, great.
So you can go watch the full song from Wish, performed by Ariana DeBose from West Side Story.
So I'm super excited for this. Chris Buck, obviously, his Disney heritage. If Bernie Mattinson did not contribute to the film, that's a travesty. So I presume he will because that's stupid. And I'm super excited about Wish. I felt I'm going to be honest. As the guy who has to tell people what to do, I felt a little guilty that I was going to this presentation because there's people on our team that work hard on things all the time, and but we had other things they had to cover, and we didn't have to for the presentation. So I mean, not that Mike couldn't do this on his own, but it's just and I was like, it was not until this moment that I felt really guilty because this was a really special moment that I'll remember forever. And this is the first time I've been to a studio panel in a decade because I'm always usually doing something else. And I'm glad
D23 Expo happening over a decade ago?
2009 would be over a decade ago.
Okay, my first one was 2015.
Yeah. Okay. Novice. And sometimes I forget that like Mike's great. Mike knows a lot about Disney and how to get through the parks. I keep forgetting Mike does not have the Disney legacy of some of them.
Well, I feel like I'm coming from a background of like general pop culture knowledge, and then when I got this job at a competing website 7 years ago, I had to like shift all that to just Disney, and I'm still kind of catching up.
And most of the time you don't know, but every once in a while Mike will say something and be like, did you know that? And I was like, yeah, buddy. like I'm a Disney fan. Did you know there were 9 old men? Yes, Mike. But so it's it was a lot. What do you think? I mean, as someone who
as someone who's more excited for the Star Wars stuff,
right? Yeah,
or Lucasfilm,
right? I mean, and many of you because I don't sometimes Mike will like send me a reference and I'll be like,
right.
It's so cool that Darth whatever is appearing. And I was like, huh? So I get where Mike's coming from.
Right.
But what did you think? I mean, everything we saw was basically a franchise film or announced. There's no I should say there was one. Helio is the one sort of original. And
Wish.
But I was saying, I mean, this is
you knew that there was going to be a 100th anniversary.
Well, no, but I feel like Wish it's celebrating the Disney. It's not simple, but I mean, so as someone who is Disney, I'm going to call you're a Disney fan, but you're not like.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't know the names of all the 9 men. I apologize.
Lord Martin. What did you think of this presentation?
I thought it was pretty exciting. I'm excited for, I do watch all this stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing all these things. I was surprised at how excited I was on Man, especially as a fan of the ride coming out of that. But In general, I would say, yeah, I am excited to see all this. Maybe omitting Little Mermaid because I just don't like Rob Marshall. But yeah, Wish looks really intriguing to me. The animation style just looks really pretty, and yeah, everything that they showed off, I think everybody pretty much left with a very positive outlook on this.
This is a little off topic, but I need it. Trey says Bob Chapek to a beard. There's a reason. Bob Chapek is going to Oogie Boogie Bash tomorrow night, and he wanted to dress as a famous Disney character. So he dressed as Obadiah Stane, Iron Man 1, and so he did the beard to pull off the name is escaping me, which is terrible. Jeff Bridges.
See, this is what I'm here for.
Right. Yeah,
I know actors.
Yeah. I mean, from Tron, like I know who. I get him and Kurt Russell confused in my head. I don't know why they're not the same at all.
I get Bridges and Dennis Quaid confused sometimes. And Dennis Quaid was in this.
Right. And Kurt Russell is always on. Is actually going to be my last two words I say.
Right.
It's going to be Kurt Russell.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it was a good part one. Good to end. I think they had the flow pretty good. You always got to end on something. Wow, mama! You don't want to end on and the new thing is this, and nobody cares. So I thought wrapping it, kind of bringing it full circle to Disney 100 with Disney Wish, not to be confused with the Disney Wish,
but great synergy.
Right. Hopefully this is. Maybe. In any case, that's what. If there's any questions, I mean, we blew through it. It was a lot. It's a lot to process. We're gonna have, when we do all these recaps, we're gonna have to go back and think of everything that was said and go through it with a little bit of fine tooth comb when we have everyone's names in us. Yeah. And we really did it quick. We don't have any material yet from the studio. They're still working on it, but.
Oh, I would say also, if you haven't seen Atlanta, which is also a Disney-owned property now, on FX, there's this guy like Keith Stanfield, who's a cast member on that show. He's hilarious in Atlanta. He's going to be one of the stars of the Haunted Mansion. It's not called the Haunted Mansion, though. It's Haunted Mansion. As I learned today, they dropped the for the movie. You said that
it's not called the Haunted Mansion. It's called the Haunted Mansion.
It's called Haunted Mansion. Sorry, no the. It's so hard for me because it's a thing that I have to remember for my job that it's called the Haunted Mansion. The movie is called Haunted Mansion. Anyway,
I feel like that's some contractual thing.
Yeah.
And David, Phil himself.
Yeah. So keep coming back to Haunted Mansion, and we keep talking about Wish.
No. Okay. You always it's an omnivore. It just keeps coming back. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm finally excited for it.
Yeah.
I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
And this turn of it, I think if Disney falling in love with Disney Wish, hopefully, is really my takeaway. But the second takeaway, which I didn't expect before tonight.
Same.
Have a chance to do any shopping. I'm working, Gio. Okay. Apparently, Mike's not.
I bought some vinyls. I bought vinyl records from the Disney Music Emporium, including the Muppet movie soundtrack, the Row 1 4-disc edition, the Encanto soundtrack, the Adventures to Inner Space attraction soundtrack, and she got
My loving husband got me this DuckTales jacket, which is the one thing I want for this whole. And it's embroidered, and it's got DuckTales on the front, and a D23 Expo sticker that I'll be removing.
Somebody texted me today and was like, "Hey, I'm in line for the shop. Do you want anything?" I was like, "I don't even think they have anything that I want." But if I had known that they had that, I would have asked them to get me one of those.
This is where Mike has to read a great site for Disney news. I recommend laughingboys.com.
I should really pay closer attention. In my free time, I'm watching Lord of the Rings TV shows and read.
I want to give a shout out. Let me see if I can find it. I want to give a shout. Donna's asking. This has nothing to do with the studios, but a surprise on the show floor. Yes, and it's from Visa. Visa has a tribute to the Kingsville Studios, from Walt's past, and kind of the idea is that it talks about how they're supporting small businesses. I'm going to try and find it. I apologize if I'm not able to, but because it was one of the things I did right before the studio's presentation. I saw like the Disney Brothers Studios logo, and here. So it's got this. It's a map of the Griswold Studios. It has some classic things. Here's a letter from Walt Disney to Up Iwerks, asking him to come over.
Wow.
It's got a history of. It's just really cool, and they give you a full of Disney suitcase, and they had suitcase in a dream. So if you have at least $40 in Disney, and they sent me an email. I fill out the survey about Disney. I get a $10 Visa card. So this is a hidden gem. I really think you should check out. It doesn't take a lot of time.
But something that I saw on the floor that is not a hidden gem, but I thought was very cool, is the costumes from Indiana Jones 5. And I feel like there's probably going to be an announcement about that tomorrow. Maybe the title.
I hope we find out what the MacGuffin is.
Like that was cool.
And Trey's asking about the thought of just finally getting an e-ticket ride. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, I feel the same way that I did 3 years ago.
I feel the way, to quote Janet Van Dyne from the end of Ant-Man, it's about damn time. Yeah, I mean, I think we all knew it was going to happen based on success. I mean, I love Adventures Campus, but there's obviously room that grow.
It needs to be fleshed out.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been fun how they've always new characters, things like that. So I'm excited that there'll be more. Gio got to see the plane. I will want to see that at some point.
Yeah.
Finally, Trey's got right. Anyway, we will. I think it's gonna be me and Mac tomorrow.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about, because you have to run to do something else. I don't remember why. It makes no sense not having you on the sports panel, but
okay.
You will.
Is it in the evening?
No, it's in the daytime.
Okay.
I think you're going to. No one cares what you're going. I mean.
Okay. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
As long as actually
we'll
happens.
save it for a second.
We will be doing this because we know they're not live streaming the studio panels, so we will be discussing what happens there, as well as we're going to be putting up clips. Here they didn't take a phone, so we couldn't videotape footage.
Right.
We could videotape anything else. Well, we couldn't videotape anything. We're not in the 80s. We could we film.
I don't know. I had my big mounted camcorder.
You need to be able to rent camcorders at the parks and so you can take family videos. We will be back discussing Marvel, Lucasfilm, and 20th Century Studios, which I think by 20th Century Studios we really mean Avatar. Tomorrow. So thanks for joining us. Yeah, you want to come? Are you going to go to the Hulu? If we'll meet you there.
I got invited to go do a podcast. I'm going to go do that.
Oh, okay. Well, I can go to meet you. I got to actually pick up something from Lost and Found. So, training harder. Yeah, it won't be good. Anyway, bye guys.
Bye.